This is Indy and welcome back to Scott Trans. Today we're going to be talking about pride. It may be a little bit bittersweet. I did actually record this video the other day, but I was way too upset about what happened in London to actually have a clear thought process. So I deleted a 25-minute video, and this is me doing it again. So hopefully I'll be a bit calmer this time. I have some different views on pride. Pride is, first of all, such an important thing. Pride in yourself, pride in who you are as a person, pride in your differences, pride in your gender, in your sexual orientation, pride in everything you do. Pride is just important, but pride can sometimes be a bad thing. So, in instance, being too proud to ask for help when you need help. It's a really important thing that you put your pride aside when you need help sometimes, because you're only one person and you can't always do things by yourself. It's impossible. Sometimes you need help from other people. Just be aware of that. I know that I should take my own advice with it, in regards to this, because a lot of the time I do just brush help off because I do feel slightly uncomfortable. My Just Giving page for my top surgery, I could have started that years ago, but I had too much pride and I felt bad asking people for help, and I wish I'd done it sooner, because my top surgery is coming up in September and I have 2 months to raise £9,000. So it's going to be very tight. If you have a pound or something, you could just drop it into my Just Giving account. I'll link it below. I would really appreciate it. So yeah, pride. Now, I've been to multiple prides. I've never been to a pride abroad. The thought of that actually scares me a lot. Just being away from home, and the way that LGBT people are received in other countries is a lot different to how they're received here. So that, I think, would give me a lot of anxiety. I've been to Glasgow Pride about 5 years, and it was amazing when I first started going. So I was 17, 18 when I started going to Glasgow Pride, and it was really for the people. Well, it could have been more for the people, but it was much more so than it is now. If you watching have never been to a pride, then I would urge you to go, and just, even if it's just to march, because it's the most exhilarating thing in the world. It's mental. I think it's really easy for party gays and party queers to forget that how important pride is, how important to march is, and that it used to be a protest. There are still reasons for it to be a protest now. Yes, we have progressed as a community, and the world are accepting us bit by bit, but we have so far to go. We have so much more to do in order to assure that every other queer person, aside from ourselves, feel supported and loved and welcome in this world. So I think that pride for me is still very much protest. What I would say is, going back to Glasgow Pride, is that if you are thinking about going to Glasgow Pride, go. Buy a ticket. It's £15 for the weekend, so that's Saturday, Sunday. Experience the big pride in Glasgow. If it is not for you, which it used to be for me, but I feel like it's so focused on alcoholism and doesn't really isn't very representative of the community's needs as it stands. So I am actually going to be going to Free Pride this year in Glasgow. It's smaller, you don't have to pay for it, it doesn't succumb to capitalist views. Pardon me. Pretty excited to go. I'll be marching as well. Oh yeah, it's worth mentioning that Dundee Pride is having its very first Pride this year. That's in September, on the 23rd of September this year. So if any of you are from Dundee, definitely be looking up the details for that. I'll link some below as well. Also, I had the privilege of being part of Grampian's first ever Pride earlier on this year, which was amazing, like honestly amazing. Me and Emma both went, we had this massive trans flag, and we both cried marching. Like, it's such an overwhelming thing to be making history in 2018. For anyone who is queer and has been to Aberdeen, aside from those who are from it, because obviously you'll have different opinions, but I think for myself and definitely for Emma as well, we found as queer people coming to Aberdeen to stay that it's very obvious the lack of visibility for queer people. There's one queer bar, it's not very well attended. If it is, it's attended by white gay men, cis gay men should I say, and there's not much money going into it. It's a bit of a wreck. So to have like Grampian Pride and to be a part of that was absolutely amazing. We filled the whole of Union Street. It was brilliant. It was like, I could cry right now. Like, it was such an amazing thing to be part of. Hopefully Grampian will not have a Pride every year, but you know, Aberdeen Council is another story. Yes, Pride. By all means, paint a rainbow on your face, wear your flag with pride, but be careful. Pride is a really amazing thing to be part of, especially because it's like safety in numbers. But if you are leaving the Pride site and you're still wearing your flag, be aware that there are still people that maybe don't care for your identity or care for you in general. Pride is basically the only time in the year where I feel comfortable. For me, Pride is a safe space. I think when you start going to bigger prides, there's less safety. I feel that they don't make as much effort as making a safe space for trans people. I feel like they want to be seen to represent trans people, but don't actually give us what we need. It's a bittersweet feeling for me, Pride. I have pride in myself. I have pride in our whole community. I firmly believe that we should be supporting each other. I hate the different conflicts between each kind of margin within our community. It makes me really sad. It makes me sad. It makes me sad that the possibility that I could be marching alongside someone who doesn't agree with my identity but will still raise the pride flag makes me feel uncomfortable. But they're not all like that. Not everyone is like that. Not every queer person is like that. Most queer people are lovely. I should know, because I've met every single queer person in the entirety of the world. No, I have not. Go to Pride, have fun, don't drink too much. If you're underage, don't drink. Don't even try to smuggle in booze, because it's not going to happen. I have tried recently. They have way bumped up the security in the past couple of years. It's a losing battle. Pride. Also, if you haven't seen the film, watch it. Pride, the most amazing film about a group called the Gays and Lesbians Support the Minors. It is brilliant. If you're into queer activism, it's a must watch. Honestly, you will cry with both happiness and sadness at this movie. It is amazing. Have Pride. This has been Wednesday with Indie. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you have any thoughts or comments, please drop them below. I'm going to link a bunch of information about prides in Scotland especially. Edinburgh Pride is already passed. Glasgow Pride is this weekend, so the 14th and 15th of July. So keep those dates free. Yeah. We'll see you next week. Stay gold, stay safe.